I do believe you boys wanted to talk about House of the Dragons a tiny bit.
Bit of hot D, what we're going to get into now.
Bit of hot D.
Everybody loves
Getting
all the
all the hot D.
I mean, sign me up.
So we're kind of limited to episode 5 because that's all Mont's seen up to.
Okay.
But
Yes.
well, what do you think of it so far?
I'm just gonna give me a second here.
Yep.
For anyone
no
that
worries.
hasn't seen them and plans on watching them, probably skip
Yes, definitely.
to the next
Gonna-
chapter. It'll be in the episode description where to not listen to.
Yeah, we'll put a
It's-
timestamp.
And
in
that
for
probably
this.
goes to the actual original Game of Thrones too. If you, for some reason, are watching Cast of the Dragon now, like
Well,
we'll
for some
probably be
reason-
talking a bit about that. Like yeah, I'll
You-
probably say some spoilers.
If you haven't watched Game of Thrones, it's probably good to start with House
Fair
of the
enough.
Dragon, considering it's set 160 years before.
Yeah, which is crazy that the same events are all tied into it. But at the same time, I mean, we'll get into the whole season 8 fiasco and how. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, we'll stay current for the minute.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what do you reckon about it so far?
Yeah, I think it's hitting all the kind of points that you'd want it to hit.
Let me go back. So what have you've had a time skip, haven't you? Have you still got the younger Rhaenyra?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you haven't had the big.
Oh,
time skip
interesting.
yet.
That's
So what's happened in the last episode that you've seen?
basically Hightower has just been dismissed as hand.
Yes.
He's because she's a liar and likes to fuck her uncle. I don't know. There seems to be a lot of incest
Right.
stuff going on.
Oh, that's the
Maybe
one where
they're
he
getting
comes,
their data from weird online
That's the one where he
searches.
comes back and they go through the city together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she's knocked up at some point. Well, they're at least alluding to that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to come out, and then she doesn't know whether it's her, bodyguard, White Knight, in shining armor, or her uncle. Which, for some reason, in this show, the uncle's the better option out of those two.
I mean,
very-
That's a positive. It's her uncle that knocked
Oh,
her up,
dude.
and not her guard, who's just some dude, which seems fine to me. Like whatever, he's just low born. I guess that's the kind of what he's pointing out. Whoever's writing this.
You've got to watch the next episode because I'm pretty sure episode 6 is the first like big time skip. Like they do 10 years
Yeah,
kind of
true.
thing. So yeah, like well, I'm not spoiling it for anybody who knows what they're talking about, but like, and it's not big of a spoiler for you, but Rhaenyra marries Laenor.
Yeah, see, and I think
They've been betrothed at the end of the episode that you're talking
Oh
about.
no! And, actually, I am up to that, and they've just come in, and some ruckus has happened in the wedding, which I wasn't sure what exactly kicked that off. There seemed to be just some
One of the
arbitrary storming in of
Lannister-
troops
One
who.
of the Lannisters said something about the Lannister. There's a set of Lannister twins. I can't remember their names. The one that isn't the one that's on the council is either. I can't remember. I've sort of like been watching them when I get home every Thursday morning, so I'm like half asleep when I'm watching them. Kind of hard to remember that episode.
But my God, did he make a mess of that guy's face?
Oh, he
like the boyfriend
fucking
of the newly betrothed.
Yeah.
Like he turned it into hamburger meat.
yeah, right.
And
Just
totally
out of it.
unnecessarily. He basically just came up and said, "I know your secret. Like,
Beat the shit out of
stay
him.
good and we'll be good." Like, he was just like, "I'm chill if you're chill." And then he just took the opportunity of the ruckus to walk up and stab the cunt and then just get on him and beat his face until there was not a solid bone left in it. Like, it was like the first really violent moment of the show, I'd say, so far. Like overly violent. I'm sure there's been battle scenes, on the beach where with the crab feeders were pretty metal. There's
pretty
these guys
intense.
who like, I don't know, they string people up on the beach for the crabs to eat.
Yeah.
And just like leave them there like the hundreds of people staked up on the beach.
I mean, that's pretty fucking
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, it's kind of metal.
I mean, I don't think that guy was chill.
No,
I mean, he can say he's chill all he likes, but like, it's pretty unchill just to beat a guy's face to death.
No, the guy who got beaten to death was saying, "I'm chill if you're chill." But
Oh
yes,
yeah. Gotcha, that makes sense.
And he was absolutely not chill with that.
No,
No.
sir. No, he was
Definitely the complete opposite.
the opposite of chill. He was.
It's gonna be very interesting.
And then he tried to go commit harikari. He went to the tree, and the old pulling the
he has
sword out
no
and
idea what you're talking
stabbing
about.
your guts. I think is it Japanese?
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
gonna.
like the
I thought you were gonna talk about the Godswood, and I was like, I don't
No,
know what the Godswood is.
it's the form of suicide when you
Yes,
decide,
yeah,
it's
they
like
have
a-
the little
he-
short sword. That's,
Yeah.
yeah. He went and tried to do that with his dagger, and then the queen comes up and goes, "You're too hot to kill yourself." I don't know, whatever.
It's very interesting to see how all of that transpires, especially in the next episode.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah,
you
I think that's where I'm up to.
you
I
need
feel
to
like
get
it
around
ended
to it.
on that cliffhanger that he did something fucked up, but then the Queen's going to vouch for him. So I don't know where he ends up. Maybe she'll flee him off somewhere else. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
like I said, I
Yeah.
can't say anything.
Yeah,
but
no,
it's
I won't
very
speculate at you because
interesting
you'll
how
want
it
to
all fucking-
answer.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about. Well, considering it's kind of hard to talk about, let's move on to the stuff that we can talk about in the like the brilliance that was the first couple of seasons of Game of Thrones, and then the fucking absolute failure that was it season 8.
I mean, I'm just gonna like not listen to what you're saying.
was about-
I'll be
I was about
present,
to say,
but
this
I'll be
is
like
interesting
super
'cause,
unpresent.
Pertaining to the competition that we mentioned earlier in the episode,
mean,
Paddy might
get
be
your-
getting a bit of a leg up here over Froome.
Now, see that it'll be helpful to you that I probably have a lot of crossed over memories from reading the book at the same time as watching the show. So
Yeah.
I'll probably say stuff that isn't even in the show, and like you'll be that might throw you some false leads to keep you interested in the show.
Yeah.
Because I don't really remember what was in what, like, because they started combining characters, and
Yeah, it was
like,
kind of hard. To
but of
judge.
course, you can't have 400 characters in a
No.
fucking TV show.
There's
You'd have to
already-
kill 30 an episode just to.
There was
Yeah.
already
pace it
enough
down.
names as it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it made no sense to add all of the extra characters and shit
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can write all that. You can't cast and show all that for 40 minutes a person.
No.
Otherwise, you're going to have 35 seasons before anything happens.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna-
But what was what was your favorite season?
I don't know about season, but favorite characters would probably be more like I love Tyrion. Like
Yeah.
but I feel like he was robbed because in the books his whole thing was about I want to be on a dragon. I want to be tall. Like that's his, and that feels like the entire metaphor is his character was built to be on a dragon.
I'm
He's
still
the short guy. who's-
interested to
wants to
see
kill-
how George is going to go with that last book. Hey,
Yeah, if he ever does, there must be a fully finished copy somewhere at least, or it might end up like the Silmarillion. Like they might just compile whatever at the end with like he had 4 books worth of shit here, and like he couldn't edit it down, so he was just the base. Here is it in a big tome, and you
Yeah.
figure it out.
come out since like the release of
Oh, he's
season
gay.
8.
He's gay.
Yeah, it came out of the closet. Yeah. He's
That's
been
fine. No,
fucking
good on him
dudes
for
all
coming
this
out and
time. That's
everything,
why there's so many dicks in the
I was
show.
about to say, I mean, there's enough dicks in the show.
This
It
is
would
all
make
fine.
There's a lot of
sense.
swinging dicks in the show, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not called Hot D for no reason, man.
I'm gonna have to definitely start watching this shit.
Fuck, what was I going to say? Yeah, he came out since the release of season 8 and said that his story in the last book will last. Not like obviously the ending is relatively the same, but he said his like method of getting there is going to be vastly different, kind of thing. So maybe
Yeah.
it makes a little more sense.
It was interesting his tweet saying to whoever played Valerius or whatever, the king.
Viserys.
Viserys.
Paddy
Viserys.
Considine.
I'm mixing up Valeria and Viserys. I'm like, I know the general vibes of the show, but I'm gonna be mixing up names because they're all one letter off, and just they switch a letter around. Damon, Aemon.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking just take one and add it to the end.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the 3rd season of Peaky Blinders? You remember that real creepy Irish priest?
Yeah.
The one that just keeps fucking with Tommy? Yeah,
Yeah.
Paddy Considine.
Okay.
But yeah, he basically tweeted saying you were better than my version of the king. I kind of want to go back and rewrite it because you played it better than I.
Yeah,
did.
gotcha.
So
Oh, he
I guess
did a
that he's
real
he's
good job.
allowing liberties to be taken, which is good. He's not like I don't know, like you compared to like what Lord of the Rings did. Like the Lord of the Rings movies are great, but
You've been
the
watching
Hobbit
Rings of Power?
movies, I don't know what happened. But I mean, I do know Disney happened to it, but they just like the Lord of the Rings book. There's so much in the books they couldn't fit in the movies. The
Yeah.
Hobbit book is about 50 pages.
Yeah.
They were like, well, we got to get every fucking cent we can out of this. They stretched it out to 3 movies and added a dance scene with Tim Curry as a giant flaming, what the fuck is this? And then like,
It was ridiculous.
it was like Finding Nemo. Like, not that that's a bad movie, but
It's not. It's the
you're
best
watching Lord of the
movie.
Rings for, orcs getting their heads cut off, an
Yeah,
open
yeah.
pitch battle, and no one's watching it for the dwarves.
No.
No,
singing songs.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, to be like, I don't know, fucking tuning into the boxing on a Sunday and they just got a fucking karaoke fucking event instead.
Yeah.
You're like, what am I watching right now? Why is it happening?
Oh, it was just ridiculous.
Well, I've watched a few episodes of the new series. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
The what's it called? Rings of Power.
I've seen bits and
Powerful
pieces, and it
Rings.
seems
Powerful
well, it
Rings.
just seems more Hobbit than Lord of the Rings, which is a bit
Yeah, I
irritating.
mean the Gandalf, who I'm assuming is Gandalf at least.
It's been
I've only watched,
confirmed.
yeah, because his vibe is interesting. It's going to be because they didn't have much to work with. If it's all coming from the Silmarillion, it's like just a lot of. I don't
Which
know.
is
It's a lot
already-
of songs. It's almost like the Bible reading the
already
Silmarillion. It's like all metaphor and song, and like, oh, the universe was created when great 8 fucking celestial trumpets were all
Why have they
shooting
got-
around, and then there was 3 worlds, and that's why it's Middle Earth and the Middle Earth, and then the elves are on First Earth, I guess Left Earth, and then I don't know, Right Earth. Where's Right Earth then? Is that where the dark people come from? Because apparently Shelob isn't a spider; it's a woman, and she was, I don't know, the girlfriend of Sauron. Well, you know, they all were hanging out in.
Well, they did that.
Why don't they ever go to the space equivalent of Middle Earth? Like, let's explore that. That sounds more interesting. Well, who are these godly titans? Am I following around like woodland creatures?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like tell me about these metal gods and why they're involved. Like Shelob had one scene. It was just a big spider. It was never explained that was an immortal being. You know.
My biggest gripe with it is the fact that like with that Gandalf character you were just talking about, the fact that they made his character like younger and stuff like that. If you go back and read the source material, the wizards were put into the world as the age they are. They're
They're
fucking-
eternal.
They're immortal beings.
Yeah.
They're not.
He's
fucking-
basically Sauron. He's the good version. He's
Exactly.
Neo to the Mr.
Mr.
Smith
Anderson.
agent. You know, he's Mr. Anderson to the Mr.
Mr.
Smith.
Anderson to Mr. Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, like he, the yin to the yang. Like that's so. Yeah, but again, he doesn't use their powers as much in the first couple episodes. But I'm hoping they're building to some dramatic shit. The fucking money they spent on it. I think it was something like $60 million American an episode. And they're like, they've already spent, they're on track to spend $1 billion because they spent $250 million for the rights in the first place for the shit.
Are they making
So
money?
that you could build a fucking space station with that shit. You better be some dramatic battle scenes in this.
Oh, there better be some gangster shit.
So what's it on? Amazon Prime or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, he's got the money. Like, speaking of building space stations, fucking flying up to orbit in his penis rocket.
Yeah.
You know, like old
The dildo
Bezos
rocket?
himself.
Highly
Yeah, King Lizard.
geeks
King
around the
Gizzard the
universe.
Lizard.
That's the flying dildo. He's he
hilarious.
obviously listens to a bit of Bert Kreischer in his spare time, and he's like, flying dildo. That sounds like fun.
I'm gonna be better. I'm rich enough. It's like him. He bought the most expensive house in America. Now, not the best house, the most expensive house.
that costs the
That's
most,
such a loser move. Like,
that's
I'm so
definitely-
rich. Don't give me. I don't want to build. He could buy a volcano. He could make a volcano. Fucking sink a nuke into the crust. Build a new volcano. Shape it into a skull. Have it. That would be like 4% of his wealth.
Yeah,